Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Tamee. I could say expert Tamee, and D. I'll just put D for my last name. And this one is particularly focusing on restaurants. So if you have a mom and pop restaurant, a local eatery, a cafe, a chain of restaurants, like the one I work for, a family business that I work for, then you've come to the right spot. If you're needing to, basically COVID recovery profits, the profits you were making prior to COVID, and actually, increase profits more than what you were making before COVID, actually. That's what 10 tips to big tips is focusing on. That's exactly what I do. Because unknowingly, before I get into the unknowingly part, thank you so much for, clicking on my channel, 10 tips to big tips, expert server expert Tamee D. And most folks in the Google comments that were at my restaurant knows me as Miss Tamee. And again, a lot of folks know me as Miss Honey So Sweet. So, which I have other channels, but this particular channel is focusing on, basically how I make my living, what I do every day to make my money and make my living. And yes, every day you must be making money, especially if you're in the, restaurant business with all the foodies. There's a lot of foodies and people who love to eat. And if that's your business, that's your livelihood, your restaurant, then you made a good stop. I think a very smart stop. If you ask the restaurant that I work at, for them, it is a very smart stop. So again, thank you. And that's what this content is in regards to. And this premiere is focusing, the first premiere that I did, the original first vlog is targeted to all servers, new server, someone new coming into serving, someone even that's older or retired that wants to serve. So that's what that video is about in the content. This particular one is in regards to focusing for any restaurateur, any chains of restaurants, large and small, a lot of mom and pop restaurants, a lot of cafe owners and things like that. So that's what I'm here for. And if you have a major chain and you're a major corporation, then hey, this might be something that you probably are interested in, because it's all about profits for you. And it's done not in an ingenuous way. It's all, funny enough, done in a very genuine way. And for me, that was not my focus when I went to work. My focus when I went to work was make enough money to pay my rent like everybody else. You got to pay to live, whether it's mortgage or rent, and to feed your family and to pay your responsibilities, be it your light bill, your whatever responsibilities you have. And make sure you get insurance and things like that. So anyway, restaurants. If you're a restaurateur or a restaurant owner, this is for you. COVID recovery. And what I mean by that is we're going to focus specifically on your front of the house, front end staff, your hosts, your guest attendants, particularly your servers, the people who actually you hired to come in direct contact with your guests. Now, at the end of the day, like I tell a lot of servers that I work with, your boss is your community, your guests. Those are that's your boss. That's if you own a restaurant, that's who you rely on. Because you're cooking all this food, you're preparing all this food, you have your servers all dressed nice with their little shirt and your company logo or hat, or like me, my headband. You got everything, all your ducks in a row, or at least you think. And then the goal is not just to survive, because a lot of restaurants are like, oh, you have to survive that first 5 years. The goal is to thrive. And you thrive because, for me, it is all about our guests and their needs. And I'm not talking about the rude ones, because, there's going to be people that, to me, I don't think is rude. They're just affected by life and life issues. And everybody, of course, we already know, handles things differently. And it's a way to handle every single person on this planet. Trust me. I promise you, especially when it revolves around food and drinks. Okay. So, with my, you know, with, I don't know, would it be serendipity is the right term to call it? Or ignorance is bliss, because my goal was to, you know, like I said, to, you know, pay my bills and eat and pay rent, whatever, my car payment or whatever. But it turned into something more than that. It turned into friendships. It turned into Google reviews that I just never experienced before. And it turned into that because what was more important to me than the money was how are these people feeling? How is everyone in my community? Is everyone happy? Now, right now I'm doing consulting. So all those, or a workshop, if you will, TED Talk, I don't know. At the end of the day, what I'm sharing with all you restaurateurs and cafe owners and eateries and restaurant owners, franchise owners, what have you, the key thing that I learned and struck me when I came to this you know, family-owned eatery, and it's a wonderful place to be. First and foremost, it puts a smile on my face to think about them. And every day I get up for work, it is like there's no negative stress, and it's like I'm going to serve the community in a giving way. So it's not what you get, it's what you give. And in return, you know, they show their generosity to you. So that's really what it's about. And then, you know, and the funny thing is, and what I'm about to tell you is quote unquote is true facts, true stories. I lived it, I experienced it, and I'm giving you nothing but the raw, organic truth. When it comes to creating a business that not just, you know, survives, it's all about thriving, and thriving for all the right reasons, you know, because living in America is like really like a mindset of corporate, but that's all wrong to me. For me, it's all wrong. It kind of reminds me of one of my favorite Disney movies. I think it's Disney Pixar, Monsters Inc. You know, yeah, you guys are, you know, surviving off of screams. But then at the end of the movie, when they learn that, you know, that laughter, giggles, happiness brings even more, an overload. That's the experience that I have. So, you know, everything that you will pay for, and just let me say real quickly, this is the book I wrote, because everyone in my establishment, all the other servers, guest attendants, or even back of the house, like, wait a minute, what's going on? How is, like, to them, it looks like a, I don't know, a charity event. Like, people just throwing money around. And it's like, even, you know, people are supposed to be in the back of the house, they're now running around the floor going, why is all this money out here? A lot of those tips are in this, in my new passport book, and here's my passport. So same exact size, where your attendants, your guest attendants, hosts, servers can keep this on their persons, on themselves, and apply these tips to increase profit. Now, within 3 months, this can be verified. I'm not communicating any information that is not fact and cannot be verified. In 3 months' time, the owner of the restaurant that I work for them, okay, you know, informed me that December, January, February, and part of March, before I got furloughed because of COVID, they went from the red into the black. Now that's powerful. So, for example, say if they were doing 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 a month, we'll say a month in sales, you know, for their delicious food. I increased that, we'll just say 3 times, about 30,000 a month. And that was just inside of like 8 to 10 weeks. So, you know, with COVID recovery, those guests are still coming back. You know, not everyone's coming back because of COVID, but, you know, once all this COVID thing is somewhat under control, and you know, my serving style and my expert style of serving again, which is in this book, little booklet I wrote and had made and printed, and now available for all servers, front end of staff, hosts, guest attendants, anyone that comes in contact directly. It could even be for the chef. If you come in contact with that guest that is sitting there in your establishment enjoying delightful, delicious, yummy food, eat, whatever you want to call it, this book will increase. So again, like a lot of the other servers were, you know, $2, $3 tips, $5 tips, a lot of $5 tips. Well, with this, you know, when I stepped into the building, those $5 tips flipped to 10s and 20s all over the tables. And then from there, 50s and 100s. So there are key things. And I just started with 10. Also, I gave 3 free bonus tips in here. And also on my first premiere for all servers, I also shared a critical tip. And if you really want to see your business thrive, and I'm talking thrive, and you want to see in your Google reviews positive, all 6s, I think it's 5s or 6, because if you click on where I work, the 6+ stars or what have you, my name is all in it. So, you know, the testimony is there. I mean, it's not something I wouldn't create it. These people have their own accounts, you know, and Google makes certain that everybody is who they're supposed to be. So on that note, you can read any of my reviews, which a couple of them are in this book, and I will put some on my, you know, website. But you know, I'm not in a rush because they're there on Google for everyone in the world to see. And the beauty of it all is that what I am bringing to you, I can actually, that same experience my restaurant had or is having, you can also experience it in your restaurant, your chain of restaurants, your mom and pop, your local eatery. And you're probably doing a lot of things like most mom and pop restaurants. They are probably like hitting on key things, because it is about relationships, and it's about showing how much you do care, which is a tip, showing how much you do care, you know. But I give specifics that catapult, and the results can, you know, happen the same day. Matter of fact, with your servers, if you want to buy your servers these books, I'll give you guys a discount because they're on my website for $11.99. But if you're a corporation or you're a major company and you want a price break on, because you're buying 1,000 of these books for all your staff, which I would strongly advise, this can be a part of the uniform, you know, the hat, the shirt, if you provide the pants, whatever you provide, which a lot of corporations have cut back, and most servers, as you know, you have to go buy your own certain things like the pants or the non-skid shoes or what have you. You have to go buy those, or the company will reimburse you. However, everybody's different. Okay, there's some companies that provide it all, you know. But one thing the company should order, at least from me, for their staff, the best thing you can do if you want immediate profits the same day your staff starts working, or your current staff has been working, but you know their tips are low. If they want to make it meaningful, then this is what you need: 10 tips to big tips. And also restaurants and eatery owners, cafe owners, you can hire my services, expert consultation, restaurant serving services at a particular fee, depending on, I base my fees off of, there is no one fee for everybody. That would be unfair to me. So say if you have a young man or a young lady and they have an internet cafe where they sell coffee, and, you know, their profits are like $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, then I will charge you according to the number of staff that you have, as far as servers or individuals, the cashier, server, what have you, that comes directly in contact with your guests or you know, your patronizers who come and patronize your restaurant and eat there, or cafe or what have you. I base my consultation fees based off of, you know, your profits and your number of employees. Like, you know, corporations, you're going to get charged a nominal fee. But if there's a mom and pop shop and, you know, they're serving the locals, I'm not going to charge them the same as I would They would not receive the same fee as a major corporation like McDonald's. They just wouldn't. It wouldn't be fair. So I base everything according to you. So there is no flat fee for me. They're customized fees because I understand everybody's needs are different. So I am willing to accommodate that. So, and I'm open to accommodate that because it's fair. It's only fair. And I'm here to be fair. So restaurants, this book for all your servers, hosts, and front end staff that comes in direct contact with your dining guests, this is a must have. If you're looking to give them everything that they need. So for one, they continue to come back. You want repeat guests. You want everyone to tell everyone. You want Google reviews blowing out the windows with all 5, 6 stars, not 1 star or You want 5, 6. I'm only one person. I wish I could split myself up into millions of people because then a lot of people would be making a lot of money. So again, for all restaurants, all eateries, all owners, cafe owners, corporations, could be Arby's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, you need to purchase this book for your front end staff. And for all you servers, take matters into your own hands and make a change for your own restaurant. They'll wonder what's going on and they'll wonder why. And then you'll be like, hey, Miss Tamee, she's the expert. She gave me all the tips, or at least a majority of tips. This is 10 tips, plus I gave 3 extra bonus tips. But again, I do live consultations, so I can fly into your city, come to your restaurant, observe your front end staff, and then I can make changes. I'll critique. Kind of like any other, restaurant expert that makes the business better and thriving and happy. Make happy people in the community. Happy employees and happy guests and happy restaurant owners, small business to big business. The key thing is people are happy. And that's what you want at all times, people to be happy, okay? So, I got this covered in the front of the house. Now, you folks in the back of the house, there's different experts for that. But for me, it's about the front of the house and directly dealing with our dining guests to make them happy people. So they want to tell the world, they want to tell their family, they want to tell their friends, and it's not telling them, they're demanding. Actually, they're like saying, look, I'm paying for dinner at this place. You got to come because I'm paying. That's how much I love it. So I'm telling you what actually happens at my establishment when I'm there. They'll call up family members and say, come on now, I'm paying for it. It's paid, just come on in. So that's the difference. And 10 tips to big tips. And I'm your expert server, front end guest attendant, Tamee. We'll just say D because I no need to put my last name out there, even though it's on here on my book. But anyway, again, this is the premier content, vlogging content, YouTube content for all restaurant owners, calling all restaurants who want their company to go from the black from the red into the black. In other words, if you have like a large ratio of debt to profit, you want it to go like this: profit up here, debt down here, not debt up here and profit down here. I'm the one that changes the scales to that. I promise you that. I promise you that. Because I'm not speaking from ideas. I'm speaking from what I do every single day on my job. I'm speaking from experience, action, inaction, happening as we speak. So if you want to experience that, then reach out to me at my website, which is 10tipstobigtips.com. Visit the website. Also, to be posted in the link below. If you have any questions, feel free to answer them here if you like, or if you want to leave your contact, I can always contact you back. Or you can visit the website and you can reach out to me there. And I'm here for you guys. I thought I'd share in 2021. We've been through a lot in 2020. So this is a new year, new opportunity, a new time, and new blessings. Because honestly, guys, I went into action late December 2020, and I had no clue what I was doing to people. I didn't know the effects. And when it was brought to my attention, I was in awe. You know, I was like, wow, I had no idea. So, and then everyone's asking me, you've changed our environment so much. We don't recognize it anymore. And it's in a positive way. It's in a way that we would have never expected. And then, you know, they tell me it's a blessing, you know, and there's so many elements that go into it that I had no clue that I was doing that, you know, single-handedly, you know, creating an environment that actually made people like, wow, wow. So even for me, after I stepped back and observed it, like I was like, oh my God, like really? So, you know, and for everyone I meet, I'm like, I'm only one person. So I put it all in the book. And also I've launched consulting. We can do a webinar. You just pay through Cash App and we can connect via webinar if you want more details and how everything works, and apply it to your business, small business or line of businesses, or if you're a corporation, how you can connect with the everyday community and the people in it that need to be fed and eat well and eat happy and be grateful and leave lots of positive comments that more people want to come, or they start paying for other people's food, because, you know, that's the place to be. Because I'll leave it like this. I had a family say to me, the food is really good, but what you did for us, the food could never do. Matter of fact, it made their food taste better. I gave them an ingredient. I shared ingredients that made their food taste even better. And then ever since then, they've been coming back every day, almost every day. So yeah, contact me at 10tipstobigtips.com. And that's numeral 10, 10tipstobigtips.com. Plus, it'll be in the description box below. So all you restaurants, if you want to make that change, I'm that girl.